I honestly love what I do. I love being a teacher, basically because no 2 days are ever the same. A lot of people go to work and they do the same thing day after day. I do the same thing day after day, but it's never the same because students make sure that it's not. And so I enjoy every day I laugh at some point. Every day I'm challenged by someone or something that goes on. Every day I see progress and think, oh, hey, maybe this is going to work out. Lots of days I think, that didn't work out so well. But in general, it's just fun to come to work. I don't wake up in the morning and think, oh no. And I know a lot of people do. I don't know that there are a lot of people that go to work and feel supported by their colleagues, their administrators, their whole community. And that makes it all worthwhile.
Do you need a number because because you're actually quoting what was on his shirt? Okay. And so they're direct quotes, so quote whatever paragraph number or page number. Okay. And these court cases go by pages.
Yeah, I guess there is a date right here, but I don't think that's what that just was decided, so I wouldn't use that one.
No, I don't think so either. Okay. And that's what we found. I noticed a lot of people who use this site, there was no date on them, so that must be how they do it. Okay. Check another one there. And then make sure that at the end you have, so anything that ends that has some sort of piece of detail or information, it's got to have a source after it. So even if it's this one, do it again down there, which is what I'm assuming.
Yeah,
it's the same one, that's why you didn't repeat it. And then is this a source that actually has page numbers?
No.
So and then you got to do paragraph. So then it's PAR, a period, or a little paragraph symbol.
I kind of went into it in this paragraph, didn't I?
I would make it clearer. That's what I was just thinking too, is that it's sort of there, but I maybe this decision means for future students or somehow like word it like the question so that it's clear that they will be able to do that, but they don't have to be not sure by an advisor.
Okay, how about city and state? What have you with these? These should be easy for you by now.
Yeah, comma between them.
Comma between the city and the state, when it's a part of the sentence, where else do you need a comma?
After.
Okay. That's the one everyone always forgets. That's the one you're not going to get wrong on this test today, right? That's going to give you that one extra point right there. Okay. Quotes or underlines? A whole book.
Underline.
Okay, remember, what's the basic rule?
If
If
it's
you just
bigger,
quote or an
it's
underline.
underlined.
If it's what?
Bigger, it's
Yeah.
underlined.
So if it's a large work, a full work, a complete work, it gets underlined, or italics if you're using a computer. If it's something short, it gets quotation marks around it. So a magazine article is part of a magazine, so quotations. A song, quotations, because the song's just short and it's part of an album, right? TV show?
Underline.
TV shows get underlined. It's a whole TV show. There's episodes, and if you had the name of an episode, then that would get quotes, but the whole show gets an underline. Piece of art, you did this in your papers. Okay, artwork always gets italic or underlined. A short story,
Underline.
the word itself should be your cue, right? All right, start with your wonder. Who would explain where they went? What was your mind thinking? What did you create for your wonder page?
I created the Hall of Shoes at the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C. And the whole time I was walking through it, I thought, how could someone be so cruel to just do like all those nasty stuff to just like 6 million people.
Interesting. So your wonder went to I wonder why, or how this could possibly happen. I think, have you seen that? You were out there. When you walk into this room with the shoes, the smell.
The smell
And
is
I can
horrible.
smell it just thinking about it. Like it's one of those things that just doesn't leave you. And that's always the point in the museum. I've been through there 3 times now where I just, you know, and I'm almost like anticipating it because I know it's coming now every time. And oh, the smell is just, but to see all those shoes and all the different, and yeah, to wonder, how did they do that? Anybody else? Share their wonder? ahead, Katie.
I did Jesus as a shepherd and then the sheep.
Okay, and so how does that religious image equal wonder for
Well,
you?
He just takes my breath away because, you know, I'm a Christian, and then whenever we talk about him in church or pray, you just so get overwhelmed.
Cool.
Are you turning
So
red?
I thought that was a really neat topic. How about your other concept?
Oh.
What did you?
Sense of humor.
Sense of humor. What? Shout out. Go. Let's go around. What did you do? What's your other concept? Football.
Oh, I had hunting. I had football.
Football.
Excitement.
Excitement.
Courage, beauty, happiness.
Oh, yes. Sense of humor. Sense of humor.
True friendship. Courage.
bravery, loneliness, thought.
Okay. What makes something a concept?
You can't really
Yeah.
explain it completely because it's kind of different for depending on who's trying to explain it.
Okay.
Something you can't see.
Yeah. It's concept is something that it's part feeling, part seeing, part experiencing, and for everybody, it's something different. So just like the different ways that we heard that you look at wonder, any kind of word that makes for a good concept is something like that, where it can be defined different ways. So you're going to be writing essays about a concept. So
Gotcha.
one other concept, somebody else throw one out that they did. Excitement, I liked your quote, because that's one of the things you might use in your essay, is you might find a quote, perhaps even a couple of quotes, depending on how your essay develops, that helps you define your concept. So tell us what your quote was.
The only difference between fear and excitement is your attitude about it.
I thought that was interesting. Think about a roller coaster. What's the difference between fear and excitement on a roller coaster?
Heights.
You think it's fun, most people. Anybody hate roller coasters, avoid
I
them?
just don't like riding.
Okay, so then that's
I
fear,
feel like
right?
if it was on the ground, I'd be fine.
That sense of fear that I feel at the top of the wild thing at Valley Fair,
Oh my
that's
God.
excitement.
I was
Oh
on
yes, yeah.
So-
And then you go down there. I
What
know.
about somebody hides and jumps out at you in that moment of surprise? Katie did it to me the other night.
You seriously want to like go and attack them and slap them
Yeah.
or something for
So is that excitement?
That's anger.
That's
anger.
yeah,
It's like
it's a whole
you're-
different thing.
You get
isn't it?
freaked out and then you
Seriously,
get really angry because you don't
Or
like.
you're
Right.
home alone, or you're walking down a dark alley and that noise. That's not excitement.
That's okay.
That's fair, right?
That is
I
fair.
actually thought it was.
That's a whole different feeling than excitement, fear.
The fire.
One more. So let me throw another one out there, and then I'll tell you about your assignment.
Humor.
Sense of humor.
Sense of
Okay.
humor. Like people can have like a dark sense of humor, like in Breaking Bad. You gotta have a dark sense of humor, like that show.
Fargo.
Oh, Fargo.
That
That's a problem.
I just kind of find everything funny.
Yeah. Even if it's like not supposed to be
I'm
funny.
very open.
Yeah. That's
So, how do you define sense of humor? How do you know if somebody has one?
I don't have one.
You tell them a joke and if they laugh or not.
So, is sense of humor one of those things you might define negatively? As in, this is what a sense of humor is not? Is it easier to tell when somebody doesn't have a sense of humor than if they do?
Yeah.
Like, can you think of somebody who they just have no sense of humor? Fun hater.
Seriously, just like
And so you might think about that with your concept too. Is there a way to define it what it is not? And is that sometimes an easier way, or at least a helpful way, to start putting that definition on your concept? You know, and that's sort of what we were doing with Katie's fear and excitement. Roller coasters, that kind of fear can be excitement if you like that sort of thing. But
Then a T-Rex chasing you.
hearing that creepy sound when you're home alone in the dark is not fear and excitement, the kind of fear that causes excitement. How are you two going to make football be a concept. Because to me,
Yeah.
football's
Yeah,
not
I
a
know.
concept.
That's just the first thing that popped in my head.
We're off on that.
But I think it could be. Is it something different to you than it is to me?
Probably.
Probably. Why? Why might football be a concept? Because remember what we talked about, what's a concept? Different people see different things about it. It's something that you feel rather than you have to feel it to understand it.
Just looking at the difference between the way Nathan feels about it and the way Dumars feels about it, it's not the same concept for either of you.
And yet you both love it.
Then why don't you marry it?
Recording this.
Very mature. Good. Sense of humor. He's back to sense of humor. So I think that there are things that I might say initially, my initial reaction is football isn't a concept. And yet, if it's something that you feel, because reading probably isn't a concept,
No.
books are not a concept, and yet I bet some of us, Tess and I'm thinking of, could write a concept essay about reading.
Yeah. It has to be something you're
And so you don't necessarily have to get rid of your football idea if that's what you really want to write about. It just might take a little more personal introspection that you have to look at how you're feeling about it more than a different word might. So you don't have to throw that idea away at all. All right, let me show you the essay.
I like how relatable she is with the students. Some teachers don't let you like roam on other topics. They're like stay with the curriculum no matter what. But she like talks with you and you feel like instead of just being like a student that's being disciplined, that you kind of have a better relationship with her. And it's just kind of fun to be in class with her.
I love how like we can be so candid with our discussion.
Yeah.
It makes learning so much more fun, and it's just an all-around great experience in our class. You can't not laugh at least once. It's a lot of fun.
I was supposed to attend USD for physical therapy the fall of 2013. Ended up 2 months before attending school that I didn't want to do it. Didn't tell my parents. First person I called was Mrs. Davidson. She walked me through it on the phone, said, well, what do you want to do? What can you see yourself doing later on in life? And just talking to her on the phone for that half hour really opened my eyes to this wasn't my decision that I wanted to do physical therapy. This was my parents' decision, and she really made me think about what I wanted to do, not what other people wanted me to do, and I can't thank Mrs. Davidson enough for that.
She really inspires me to keep going, keep trying. And she does oral and terp, and I was in that. She just kept me out, pushing me to get better, and really inspiring.
Good question. She is definitely one of the most dedicated teachers that I've ever met myself personally. And I mean mainly when I say something like that, it's just her dedication to her students, just always going that extra step. But a lot of times what you'll see with teachers is when they've had the amount of experience that Kim has had, you'll see kind of like a rapid decline in their motivation and the way that they teach and just the way that they handle day-to-day activities. And with Kim, you don't see that. You just constantly see an onward and upward approach to education.
According to the research, the teacher is the most important thing as to whether a student is successful or not in the classroom. And I guess for me that's duh. What else would it be? I think that's true in a lot of places besides just education. But that's a lot of responsibility. If you know that you, the person in front of the room, is going to be the one who decides this kid's going to succeed or this one isn't, what do you do about that? And I guess what I've done successfully for 25 years is make kids comfortable in my classroom. They're not afraid to ask me questions. Students aren't afraid of me. Sometimes that's a bad thing because things get a little wild and they sometimes say things that I think, you wouldn't have said that in somebody else's room. But on the flip side, it's because they trust me and they know that they can say what they're really thinking, and it goes a long way.